For people who want to know what is the Keith Andrew Network, the whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove them and still amount to something.
My name is Kevin Leroy. I'm an actor, and I was interviewed by Keith Andrews, and it was phenomenal. And I was excited, and I'm just can't wait to come back and do it again.
Hello, my name is Rick Branch, and I just want to say I really appreciate Keith Andrews for giving me this platform to promote my brand. He is an awesome friend. This is the 4th time. I feel flattered. That tells me that whatever I'm pitching, it is interesting enough for him to call me again. And I have a movie coming out where I'm playing in the Miles Morales movie. I would like to talk to Keith again after that movie. So thank you very much, Keith. And the movie coming out April 15th.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. It is episode 932. That is right, 932. First off, we're here. It was a good friend of mine. Thank you for your service. Rick, it's a real honor and privilege to have you back.
The honor is all mine. The honor is all mine. Hey, I feel flattered.
You know, especially it's the 4th time. And for those wrestling fans out there, you know, but this means the 4 horsemen, but it also means 4 times. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4. You know. Anyway, don't mind me. We have
right.
two other. Oh, go ahead.
Fourth time's a charm.
Hey, if we do a 5th time, it could be Booker T. What's the 5 time?
After the 5th time, I'll get something. You know, I get that. Just like never mind. I don't even know where I'm going with that.
But you buy one, get one free.
There you go.
Kevin, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, how you doing?
I was saying to Rick, I like bringing people together. And for you, I do apologize. We've been playing phone tag. It's okay. It's not the fact that I don't want to do a one-on-one interview. It's the fact this season, season 10, and Rick can tell you, is I've been trying to do double interviews, group interviews. But after this, I would love to do a one-on-one interview with you. But with that being said, I'm going to start off with you. Now, what can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is, of course, Kevin Leroy. I am from Ohio, small town called Fostoria. I grew up. I was involved in martial arts, boxing and things like that. Those things were my thing. So, just grew up, just an athletic kid. School, of course. Been to college a couple times, twice, and always had a heart for entertainment.
No, absolutely. One request: if there's a way you can turn your screen sideways so we get the full screen, really appreciate that. And Rick, the second question I want to ask you is tell our audience who's getting to know you for the 4th time. But if you're watching for the 1st time, thank you for your service.
Hoorah! Hoorah! That's a little thing we say in the Navy submarine community to let everybody know we see you. Solid service.
No, absolutely. Now, one question I want to ask you is, I know I mentioned this before, but I want to bring it up again. How long were you serving in the Navy? I got that right? But this time I mentioned Army, but you're actually Marines.
Me, I was in the Navy, yes. And
go ahead.
You were right the first time. Officially, I only served 4 years, but unofficially, I think I've served 32 years because I never left the Navy. After I did my 4 years, I enlisted. I took maybe a month off, and then I started working as a civilian for the Navy, and I've been working for the Navy ever since. I'm helping my shipmates, my brothers and sisters of another mother on the outside, still part of the Navy.
No, absolutely. And Kevin, the next one I want to ask you, I'm going to ask both of you one hard-hitting question, and both of you can take times answering it however you want. Freedom of speech, self-expression. But Kevin, I want to ask you, who inspired you to become a professional actor, and how many years have you been acting?
So I was inspired through. I'm a fan of Denzel Washington, and I really followed his journey ever since I was a kid. I mean, the Book of Eli, you know, and that really inspired me. Denzel Washington he's just very inspirational to me. So I just started out my journey probably, I'm gonna say in 2015 is when I really got serious about my journey. You know, moved around to a few states like Atlanta, New York, Seattle, and you know, started my training processes there and different phases of my acting journey there, you know. So now I'm in California. So that's how I got pretty much started. Denzel Washington, growing up watching Denzel was like, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I listen to motivational speeches he does. They're really good.
Yeah, I like Denzel. I really do. Training Day, I mean, he was over the top in that. I just really respect him as an actor, and I really, he's just, to me, he's just one of those guys that really I just see his work. It just really grabs me, you know.
No, absolutely. You know, me and Rick were actually talking off the air, but I would like to bring this up. How did you feel about watching the Will Smith smack?
I didn't, to be honest with you, just to be totally honest with you, I didn't have a comment or anything like that concerning Will, because I really love Will. You know, I really love Will, and I love Chris Rock both as entertainers. And I just really feel like for them that, you know, they have enough relationship within themselves that I feel like they'll work it out within themselves. But I don't have anything to say about it. But that's about it, you know.
But the one thing I will say, then I pass it over to Rick, is if it was anybody else, you know, Van Diesel, especially The Rock, Will Smith doesn't have a set of balls to smack The Rock. It would be really funny, but I bet he would really leave vapor trails if he tried smacking The Rock.
Oh wow, The Rock he's pretty big, ain't he? Pretty big guy.
Oh, I never met him, but one of the greatest entertainers ever. And
Wow.
Rick,
Yeah.
Rick, what about you? How you feel?
Well, when the slap happened, fortunately, I was in the air flying to Pearl Harbor. So that was already news by the time I saw it on television. And when I saw it on television and they was talking about it, I was saying to myself, the optics of what I just saw was terrible. I mean, yes, I like both of them. Chris Rock make you laugh. And I was actually in a movie that Will Smith produced, and Jada Pickett's brother directed me in a scene. But the optics as a black man looking at that, I was hurt because one is black on black crime on the global scale, which we've been fighting for years to try to tear down that narrative. And there's somebody that we have that is loved by everybody, goes up and slaps somebody on TV. He is at the pinnacle of his career where impulse should be controlled. You would think that somebody like Will Smith, who everybody loves, could have laughed that off and just said, okay, just like you said, if that had been somebody else, let's say Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey makes the same type of jokes as Chris Rock. If Steve Harvey would have said something about, you know, Jada, I don't think that Will would have walked up there and casually look. If you look at the dynamics, look how small Chris Rock is to Will Smith. Now, if it was switched, and I think Steve Harvey's taller than Will Smith, I don't think he would have walked up there and did that. And another thing, that was calculated because Will has power, and he know he has power. And with that power should have came responsibility, because everybody was looking at him. And I guess he figured that I am Will Smith, so ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me. And that's when I said, here we go, that Willie Lynch stuff, because if it was switch and Chris Rock is smack Will Smith, what would be the story then? I mean, it's more to me like bullying than anything else. And how many times have we seen documentaries where Will Smith is talking about being having empathy for other people, but yet he casually walked up there, smacked somebody, and walked back. That's bravado and bullying, because he knew he had that power. That's just where I think. I love Will Smith, and I hope he still hired me to do another movie here. But if you want me to be honest, that's being honest. I think that he should have had impulse control and waited and see, where after it was over, say, yo, dog, I got to go home with Jada. You came out here and said this. Why don't you come out here and say something else, because she done gave me the eye. Yo, man, come on, man. Bruh, what's up? Help me out here. You put me in the doghouse, help me out. That could have been handled that way, but nah, everybody was looking, and he felt like he had to get up and show some bravado, some ego, which was not necessary, because now every time I go somewhere, because I'm a big black guy, everybody gonna think I'm violent. Everybody gonna look at me, and first thing gonna think is, he's violent, because they all are. You saw what Will did. And that's where I feel.
Well, people are ignorant and stupid. But the one thing I do want to say is, if you look back, when he told the joke, he was laughing. But then he walked over, and then he walked over to Kryptonite, and then she said something. I mean, okay, so he slapped him. If that was the only thing that he did, okay, people would talk about it, but he actually make it worse by going on its whole big rant afterwards. But if he said, okay, he just came out and defended his wife, okay, because if I was married and someone made a joke, doesn't matter what color you are, you're married to that person and you have to stand up for your wife. But if you laugh, if you said like this, he didn't laugh, okay, understandable. And you have the right to be angry. Just the fact he laughed, saying it can't be into, one of those things when you tease a teaser, and you're gonna get in trouble. But if you make the person laugh, like, well, you laughed, so you can't really be that much into denial or trouble because you just laughed and you thought it was funny. So, it's kind of like, what I mean? It's one of those things like, if you laugh at something that's inappropriate, you're kind of guilty because you're kind of like, okay, that was funny. But if he was angry or just shook his head, then it would have been, okay, there's a problem. Kevin, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Okay.
Let me ask you, if you pulled a joke on Rick and Rick was laughing afterwards, then you would think, oh, it's okay, because the three of us were just laughing. But if Rick was angry, then you're like, okay, I should go apologize. But the question I want to ask is, have you ever pulled a prank on anyone? And do you agree or disagree with, if they laugh at it, then that makes it somewhat okay?
I think like I have pulled pranks on people before. I have. Used to call me the prank master. But there's of course been times where I wasn't really like in tune with what was going on inside of them. And, you know, they was mad, like, why'd you do that for? And they just wasn't in the mood to be pranked at the time. You know what I mean? But I just think like for that, in that situation, it's totally different. You know what I mean? Cause it's like, you're there and that's what it's about. You know, there's a comedian. I mean, but I think just Will Smith he's gone through a lot. You know, he's gone through a lot, and it just shows his human side. You know, and I just for him, I just you know I know he's got a solid brand. He's been solidified for years. I love watching him too. And I know that I have faith in him that he's gonna definitely recover and make it through. You know, but yeah, like back to your question, of course, like I think like you know, you just got to be sensitive to, you know, people's, you know, some people have boundaries, you know, I guess that's how I see it.
No, you're absolutely right. And on the next question I want to ask you, Rick, you know, this whole, you know, Me Too moment, the cancel movement, the bowel movement, yeah, and there's always a movement. But I'm going to ask you, from everything that you saw, and recognizing the same question to you, I want to see from different point of views, where did the needle drop? Because Rick, you know, you were in the Army, and you know, a lot of love and respect for that. I really appreciate you. And you've been on the show a number of times. So the question I want to ask you is, do you think this generation is kind of soft? Do you think it's kind of snowflake-like? Because if you look at the 60s, 70s, 80s, if you said something, people are like, okay, you know, whatever, you know, you're an asshole, you know, for saying this. But now, you know, Kevin, you agree, if we say or sneeze the wrong way, you know, people go crazy. And I will tell you why I bring it up. But Rick, I want to start off with you.
I do not think that this generation is no softer or harder than previous generation. I just think this generation got immediate access to information faster than we did. So you can find out something as soon as it happened. Now, back in the day, it takes years for you. You probably won't never find out. But right now, you got it like that. So, and then you got numbers. Numbers make you feel more powerful, because you got somebody agree with you. So now you feel like, hey, my word is valid because 10,000 other people just agree with me. Back in when I was growing up, shoot, lots of things happened. I still don't know about them. But now, time it happened, everybody knows. And everybody got cameras so everybody can show what you didn't see in various angles. That's the only difference. It's not that we softer or harder. You got technology, instant gratification, instant information, so you can have your instant comment, and you got thousands and millions of people that make you feel even emboldened because, hey, what I just said, 10,000 other people just said it.
Well, I don't mean by it's social media. And Kevin, I didn't mean to interrupt. I do apologize. What were you going to say?
No. I was waiting. Go ahead. You're fine.
No, I was going to be like, I didn't mean social media wise. I gave you an example. If someone walked up to both of you and say, both of you are two handsome guys. You know, back in the day, and now I feel old, you know, back in the day, that would have been a fine. But if you give someone a compliment, like, oh, that woman over there, she's really beautiful. You can't say that. It's really inappropriate. So I want to ask you, it's where did that become a thing?
You know what, just to speak on that, to be honest with you, like there are certain things that I know, like you have to be careful what you say, because people can take it a different way. You know what I mean? Versus, you know, my dad growing up, he would say, you know, hey, that girl, she looks, you know, hey, sugar, hey, beautiful, how you doing, darling? Versus nowadays saying that, it's like saying that I want you. You know, so like there's a line there, of course, but like that just comes with our culture in terms of what we're allowing in the culture. You know what I mean? And what we're allowing in so far as how we communicate to one another. You know what I mean? So I think like, you know, absolutely. It's just that, you know, it's kind of hard to kind of say in some ways, but all I can say is like, it's just one of those things that, you know, and then you're talking about the cancel culture too, right?
Yeah.
In relation to that, so like back in the day, like Rick was saying, I mean, like things are different, and people having access to media, and I think that a lot of people, this is the generation where a lot of people are seeking for fame and fortune, and in order to do this kind of work, I don't necessarily believe that it should be about that, I just think that you should be focused on trying to leave a legacy, and of course, this is what you do. But at the same time, when it comes to cancellation and canceling as a culture, I don't agree with it, because I feel like a person works hard for, you never know what a person had to go through to be where they're at, so to cancel them one day, I mean, is like,
yep,
just because of a mistake.
Good
point.
We
all make them.
Yep.
Well, I actually want to make this more fun. So, Rick, do you have any questions for Kevin? Kevin, do you have any questions for Rick?
I'll let Rick go first.
From Ohio?
I'm from Ohio, yeah.
Any black folks in Ohio?
Yeah, we Cleveland, Dayton.
Outside of Cleveland, no,
yeah, we have black communities definitely for sure. Where you from, Rick?
Jokey joke. Since we all joking and whatnot. But I know.
Yeah.
It's cold out there.
It's cold.
I never been out to the Midwest. I went to Great Lakes for A school. That's about as far as Midwest I've been. So that experience for me was not favorable when it comes to talking about the Midwest, because it was cold as hell. Because I went there for January, and it was cold. Yeah, now I'm in North Carolina, so I was not having a good time there. So, but anyway, that's about as far as Midwest I've been.
Okay. I stayed in Raleigh, North Carolina for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina. I hung out there, Charlotte, those areas before I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. But like you said, over there in Ohio, that's the only thing I don't miss. I miss home, but the weather. I live in San Diego, so all year round, it's kind of like
San Diego now.
Yeah, I'm in San Diego now.
Well, I'll be out there pretty soon because I go out there to the sub base because I'm a submariner. Like I said, ever since I left the Navy actively, I've been supporting the Navy, and I go out to San Diego often to the sub base out there.
Okay, yeah, because the base is right out here on right by the water over here by Coronado. So yeah, man, I'd like to connect with you. You come out here, man. Be nice, man.
We'll catch up and we'll probably meet. Hey, why not?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
With that being said, that's the biggest thing about the Keith Andrew Network. I like to support the message. Also, I like bringing people together. And hey, you guys just made new friends, so it's a win-win for everyone.
I just met another brother of another mother.
A brother from another mother. That's cool, man. That's cool, man. So you from North Carolina?
North Kakalaki, yes I am.
North Kakalaki, huh? Yeah. I like it down there, man. It's nice.
Oh, ain't nothing like North Carolina. I mean, it's like you got some of everything. You got your mountains, your beaches, your flat land, your hogs, your chickens, your goats, your snakes, your spiders, mosquitoes, all that.
Where exactly are you from? Henderson or?
No, I'm from like 30 miles from the coast, little small town called Pink Hill. It's in Duplin County. And it's we call it Eastern Carolina area.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. I went to East Carolina University, so I went to college. I went to high school, East Duplin High School, and then went to college, East Carolina, and then my master's I got in Maryland. So I've been traveling up and down. So
wow, that's pretty awesome. My grandfather and them is they were Fayetteville. They were stationed there.
Okay.
They were stationed in Fayetteville.
I got a nephew that goes to Fayetteville State now.
Yeah.
Yep. So you moved to Atlanta for acting or just to get out of Ohio?
So when I first started acting, I went down to Atlanta to pursue acting. I started was with acting. This was a class called Actors Point. Just started training with the lady, what's her name? I think her name is Deborah. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She was connected to. Have you ever heard of what is that guy's name? You ever seen the movie Courageous or the Kendrick brother films or anything like that?
Yes, yeah. Didn't they used to have like a little mountain in the background whenever they had their movies?
Yeah,
something like a mountain or mountain or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was connected to her, and she was the acting coach for some of those films. And
okay.
a couple people I knew that was on the Tyler Perry show that was in my class, and
okay.
I just had a good time there, just training. That was the majority of my time there. Picked up some independent work, but now since then I've been definitely had some help with branding and things like that, and
that's what it's all about, branding.
Yeah, and got some more favorable connections, definitely.
Cool.
Actually, you bring up a good subject because we have 7 minutes left. What was so hard for both of you to get getting your brands out there? And Kevin, I'm gonna start off with you.
So for me, when I was just saying just a second ago, when I had first started, I think it started out like your head is in lights and so on and so forth. I was young in the industry, so I didn't really know much about what it was about. I just know that I wanted to do it, but the people around me, that's what I was used to seeing. Okay, so like I started off, got some headshots, and I remember going to a class, and they were selling us. But she said, listen, if I don't leave you with nothing else, just take this. And she said, the reason why people go around in this industry and they go in circles is because they're not fully packaged. And that stuck out at me. And I said, okay. So I started to pick up books and connect with people that I had to figure out, okay, if I'm going to be here, what do I do? What do I have to do? So I got connected with a lady who she's been nothing but a blessing to me. Her name is Andrea, and she's my branding management lady, and she's been just, I mean, my brand is clear. I know what direction I'm going with my brand, and that has prevented a whole lot of just the circles. You know what I mean? So I've been able to reach out to some producers out in Hollywood and been clear, and it's just been amazing. The branding is important,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that kept me from going in circles. You know what I mean? Versus I've done some assistant directing on some particular sets, and I see me and some of them guys, and they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they have nothing solidified, no brand, nothing clear. They just know they want to be on camera. But for me, it's been learning how to, through this industry, we're here to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? And that's through your journey, through your hero's journey, and whatever you've been through, it just makes so much sense to me. So that's just where I'm at. I hope I didn't talk too much.
Absolutely. Now, Rick, what about you?
I agree with everything that Kevin was saying, that branding is important. And for me, I'm trying to live the Navy homage that, especially on submarines, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So I'm trying to do everything I can and let people know that I can do things instead of just saying I can do things. Because anybody can say they're an actor, but I'm trying to do so many varieties of characterization of myself. So whatever I put out there, somebody may see something that, hey, they're going to trigger them to say, I want him in my project. Like I say, I can play many different characters. I don't want to be put in a pigeonhole that I can only play this type of character. That's why to me, Samuel Jackson is one of my favorite artists, because one, he plays some of the people that you don't see as a mainstream character, like Steven from Dangle and Chain, or that movie where he had Snake, the one where he played the old man who tied up Richie, the girl.
Black Snake Moan or something like that.
Black Snake Moan. I mean, those are the type of people I seen when I grew up, but I guess Hollywood wants to stay away from those type of characters because they think it ain't viable. But trust me, in my area, when I grew up in North Carolina, I've seen black men like that. And those black men are hysterical. And when you're growing up, they're interested because those are your people that you look at growing up. And they say some wise things because they've been through a whole lot of stuff. And those type of characters that I feel that I want to play. That's why I try to not focus on the glamour type black man. I try to do some of the black people that people always turn their heads to away from because they just as important. They are pillars in certain areas. I mean, don't turn your back on them. Think just because they ain't rich or handsome or got this, that they are not viable, but they are viable. That's why when I grow up and become a real A-lister actor, I'm going for all the past black men that I can think of and bring their lives forward, and that'll be my brand, because there's a lot of history out there that should be told. And I want to be able to tell some of those histories.
No, I agree. Now, I do have a couple questions for you guys off the air, but, you're talking about Black history. Here's, obviously, you guys know I'm a big professional wrestling fan. Ron Simmons was the first African-American to win a World Heavyweight Championship. And then The Rock, I think The Rock was like mixed, but they still consider him like a second. But then you had Big E and Kobe Kingston. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, or Spanish, or Asian. If you connect with the audience and you can entertain people, period, then you can sell out arenas. But people have this stupid mindset of saying, it has to be a white thing, or once you put race into it, you just set yourself up for failure.
Oh yeah,
and that's like the Keith Andrew Network. I interviewed, whites, blacks, Spanish, Asians, singles, gays. I do not discriminate. If you have a great message, you're more than welcome to be on the Keith Andrew Network. We're close to 1,000 episodes. So if I find someone, I like the story, I like making new friends, and I like giving people opportunities. So I don't deal with labels. I look you up and say, if I like what I see, then I will extend my hand to you in friendship and give you an opportunity. Because for me, and you guys can relate, opportunities are very hard and rare to get. And even if you do get it and it seems, it just seems like a great opportunity, it may or may not have a catch to it. But all I'm going to say is if you can prove to them, you can stay them out to something, that's all that really matters. But we're going overtime right now. I really appreciate both of you being on the show. June 10th is my 9-year anniversary. I would love to have both of you be with us. That's June 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern. But stay tuned for Off the Air. I'll have a couple questions. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe to the Keith Andrew Network. Follow my guests. Their Instagrams will be on the bottom of the screen. But until we meet again, catch you later. Thank you and have a good night.